Guys, welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. If you haven't already, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel. Well, technically, you have to be subscribed in order to be a part of the live chat, but you won't have to be subscribed in order to call in. But in order for you to call in, let's get these likes up. I see everyone already in the chat. Drop those elephants, crowns, and Christmas trees. Happy holidays to everyone that celebrates. And even if you don't celebrate, happy holidays. Wishing you the most prosperous and loving 2022. Can you believe it? That's right around the corner. And so is Christmas. And 12 days of giveaways has come to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. So if you would like to be a part of it, you better head on over to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. But we are live. We're live on TikTok. We're also live on Twitch and Twitter. Kempire Daily on Twitter, Twitch, The Kempire. And of course, we are live on The Kempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook. We have to talk about this episode 3 of And Just Like That, the Sex and the City reboot. But if you missed it, I posted a video earlier today talking about the controversy surrounding Chris Noth and two accusations from women from his past are coming up. So if you have missed out on those, on that video, be sure to check that out. That's right now available on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. And you can read the full Hollywood Reporter report on their website. But as you know, here on the channel, we like to get the vibe going. It is the holidays, and I didn't want to stop it on this Mr. Big Chris Noth situation. So let's get the vibes up. All right. And don't forget to like the video. Guys, welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. We are live across multiple platforms, including my TikTok. What's going on TikTok? Keep tapping your screens. We're live on Facebook, The Kempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook. We are also live on Twitter. What's going on Twitter? Follow us on at The Kempire and at Kempire Daily. We're live right now on Kempire Daily. Shout out to everyone that's already in the chat. Our subscribers, we hit over 61,000 subscribers overnight. So welcome to our new subscribers. And of course, shout out to our Team Kempire and Royal Court members. If you'd like to become a member of the channel, head on over to the Kempire. Well, head on over to TeamKempire.com for more details and join our texting community. Shout out to our texting community. I literally sent the text right before the live that we were going live. I apologize. It's been a busy couple of days. As you know, it is the holidays. So I know all of you can relate to being busy, getting gifts at the last minute. And we are so excited to be giving back to you guys, our subscribers, for our 12 days of giveaways. We'll get to that in a second. Tonight, this afternoon, normally we would be doing this live at night. But as I said before, it's the holidays. I know all of you are busy, especially on a Friday evening, and we will get back to that. We still have at least 7 more episodes of the Sex and the City reboot and Just Like That. Again, look, they probably lucked out by killing off Chris Noth's character, Mr. Big, in the first episode, because all these allegations have been coming out this week. If you missed that video that I did, just posted it earlier this morning, be sure to check that out for the full details. We're going to just pretend that he really is dead. Okay, that was a little dark for Christmas. All right, we'll move on, though. We'll move on because it seems as if Carrie's character is moving on. I know a lot of people are like, wow, she's even her friends, Miranda and Charlotte, like she's doing really, really well. And all of you speculated when we recap the first 2 episodes of this. Oh, okay. Not Charlotte. Carrie's response to this is interesting. It's not your normal thing, but Carrie has never been normal. So it's not surprising to me that she's trying to move forward, but we are revisited by the ghost of Natasha. Last week was the ghost of Samantha. This week it's the ghost of Natasha, but she's really not a ghost. She's really there, but she's hiding from Carrie. Before we get to that, a lot of you said last week that a lot of your predictions on this, and maybe the show is a little too predictable. A lot of you predicted what's going on with Charlotte's daughter or son. A lot of you predicted the whole will controversy. But the will controversy wasn't as good as you guys made it last week. It's more like, okay, there was no. Okay, we'll get to that. So, of course, Carrie and Miranda, because Miranda is an attorney, she goes with her to review Big's will. And they're going through the whole will stuff, and $1 million is left to Natasha, Big's new wife. Oh, no, ex-wife, new wife. Better Day says, I am loving the series. Me too. And one of the things that stood out to me, and this happens at the very top of the episode, is the standoff between Stanford. Who's Stanford? Stanford and Son? There we go. Stanford, Stanny, and Charlotte. We know episode 2, it was that whole inviting Stanford over her, and she was very offended by that. And she didn't invite Stanford to this lunch for the girls after the will reading. And Stanford's like, you don't think I'm part of this group. However, I am. Which made me go down a rabbit hole in my own brain. I was like, you know what? Back in the day, they really treated Stanford's character like how a lot of women treat gay men as an accessory. That's what he was treated like during this, during the original Sex and the City. He was just sort of the gay friend that came in once in a while. However, a lot of you ladies that have gay friends, they're part of your daily lives. They're part of your friend group. And I love that they're incorporating Stanford and Anthony so much in these early episodes. I hear that they're not involved in all of the episodes, but they really should be. If anything, Stanford should replace Samantha. Well, I mean, okay, not really, but you know what I mean. He's really a part of the friend group. Okay. Logan says, Stanford said, put some respect on my name. Yes. Which made me think to myself, I was like, wow, he really is a part of the group. Let me stop this Snow. Y'all know I keep inviting Snow into the room. Shantae says, that's how they're always treated by a lot of women, even though they think they don't. It's true. And Shantae says Stanford had a point. But I think Charlotte, being Charlotte, even though she gives us some progressive mom vibes later in this episode. Guys, if you're just joining us, we're talking about Sex and the City, the Sex and the City reboot, and Just Like That, which I'm loving. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what the critics say. We talked about the critics last week. Yeah, whatever. I think they're doing a good job. Do I think they're trying to be too woke too soon? A little bit, in a lot of different areas, because I rewatched episode 1 and 2 for the 3rd time, and there were certain things that I didn't pick up, like when Mr. Big died and he fell. I thought he died immediately, but no, you saw his arm come up again, and then he died. I was like, oh, I missed that part. That's why it's worth watching over again, and it's still entertaining watching over again, to be honest with you. And then I had that thought in episode 3 about Stanford and how he was treated on this series, really as this gay accessory. But not in this season. This season, this new reboot, you're seeing so much of Stanford. We've seen him in every episode so far. I did see a headline where they were saying that no one on the set knew about Stanford, the actor that plays Stanford, his battle with cancer. The only person that did know was Sarah Jessica Parker. I'm hearing rumors that they're not going to kill him off on the show. It'll be interesting to see how they handle it. It'll be interesting to see how they handle it. I don't know. Do you guys want them to kill him off on the show? Because I don't know. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Guys, are just joining us. We are talking about, and just like that, episode 3. I know this is earlier than you're used to, but if you're watching the replay of this, let me know your thoughts. Be sure to pull out your best, even if you don't call in live. Make sure you're bringing out your best shoes. Your best shoes. I still got my shoes from last week here. Bring your best shoes and drink something spicy. I'm not drinking anything spicy because first of all, I don't drink. Second of all, it's 12:44 here in New York City. I'm drinking a protein shake. Okay. I bawled my eyes out when Big died. I don't know. I know a lot of people said they had that big emotional reaction. I probably reacted more to Carrie's reaction. And a lot of you criticized Carrie's reaction. Why didn't she call 911? When you rewatch it, you're like, there's other ways that they could have handled that a little bit better in just how it sort of played out. But I really wish at the end of every episode that they would talk about their vision for the episode, their thoughts on the episode, their perspective on what is happening within the episode. But all right. But back to episode 3. Episode 3 is really dealing with Carrie being, she's been cool and calm and collective since Big died. However, when reading the will and finding out about Natasha, she's like, did I know who this man was? Why is he giving her $1 million in the will? We'll get there. We will get there. Let me just say, there are a lot of really funny moments. A lot of you had mixed feelings about Shay, the new Shay character on the show. But to be honest with you, I'm loving Shay. There are a lot of serious things happening in this series. However, there are a lot of comical things happening. And I love the fact that we're getting, first of all, New York. We talk about diversity. Not only are we getting someone that's non-binary, that identifies as they, them, we're getting someone that's Hispanic. We talked about, this is New York. Where are the Black people? Where are the Hispanic people? So we are not going to be cutting Shay. But I also feel like Shay, as we see, I got the vibe from Big's funeral that there was going to be some sort of love affair between Miranda and Shay. I knew Miranda, but we all thought Miranda might be a little something back in the day. We saw the potential for her to be that way. And I guess they're exploring it because, as you know, Cynthia Nixon in real life is a lesbian. So it's going to be interesting to see. They're leading us up to that, but we'll get there. I know a lot of people did not. I think people expected Charlotte's response to Rose saying that I don't feel like a girl, that she, being who we've come to know Charlotte to be, very traditional, would have a very hard time with her daughter, son. We'll get there, I'm sure. Identifying as not feeling like a girl. I like the fact that Charlotte is giving us something completely different than what we would have expected, because this is Charlotte, not Charlotte that we knew almost 20 years ago. This is Charlotte today, living in this world, raising a daughter at this point in time. There are a lot of parents that may not understand, but are open-minded. But I'm sure we're going to see Charlotte struggle. We're starting to see her struggle. I do have to say something though. I like the fact, you know how we called certain instances during this new reboot, they're a little too woke, they're a little too trying to be politically correct. I love that Anthony gave the response that a lot of gay men that are his age would have given. And it wasn't this because he's a part of the LGBTQI plus community or, oh, you should be open. No, he was just like, ignore it. Because that's Anthony too. That's also his personality. But I'm glad they kept it like that and not, oh, I'm going to be woke right now. No, I'm glad that they kept it as they kept it. Where Charlotte seems to be a little bit more evolved than Anthony. April says Anthony was too funny. Let me see you guys. Hold on. Yes, Cynthia Nixon is she's openly gay, and also ran for governor. Also ran for governor of New York. Don't forget that part. Storm says Anthony is the most like character from the show. Is he? Are you sure about that, Storm? Janaea says New York traditionalists are dinosaurs these days, I would think. Have you met Ramona Singer? April says Harry will be more understanding than Charlotte. That's what we think. That's what we think. Honestly, I think a lot of people would be surprised at Charlotte's reaction this episode. I do think she will have her struggles, like most in realistic situation parents would have. But I like the fact that she wasn't completely like, oh my gosh, I'm having a breakdown. Even though we know Charlotte will. Charlotte already this season has had many breakdowns. Guys, we have almost 200 people in the building. Be sure to like this video if you haven't liked it already. We're talking about the Sex and the City reboot. And just like that, episode 3 is now available. We're doing it a little bit early, but be sure to still have a little something spicy to drink. And don't forget to bring your shoes when you call in. I want to see your shoes, or you can just tell me your favorite pair of shoes. I have to give it to them. We're getting incredible fashion. Sidebar, the rewatch of episode 1 and 2, I don't like how they're handling Nicole Ari Parker's character. It felt a little forced. You know how they forced us with Jennifer Hudson in the movie? It felt a little forced rewatching it. I was just like, there could have been a more natural way. Why is she eating someone's fries? Black people, we're not eating someone's fries. Let's be real. Well, not even just black. I know some other, but realistically, we're not eating. We just met. I'm going to take your fry. Come on now. Just the whole forced inclusion of her, it just felt forced. Can we just make this feel a little bit more natural? Maybe we all meet at the recital. I'm just saying, just the rewatch. I was like, exactly, Logan, especially in years of COVID. Look, the show's not perfect, but it's still entertaining. But we're going to be critical because we're recapping it. Right? O Street says, agreed. I do think that Anthony is a lot like Mario Cantone in real life, who I've seen in real life. Let me see what you guys are saying. Latasha says, I thought that was odd too. Like you could have all kinds of cooties, especially in times of COVID. Come on now. No, in a panini. What are you guys saying in the chat right now? Thank you. Happy Sanford says, true. We don't eat off folks' plate, especially people we don't know. I mean, never mind people we know, but someone we don't know, we're just being introduced. Rewatching it is a whole other experience. So I encourage for those that are watching this right now, rewatch episodes 1 and 2. I want Nicole Ari Parker to be a part of this because I already feel like she's bringing the fashion and looking great. I don't know about the dress with the earrings on it. The rewatch of that, I was like, I just wanted not to feel so forced. That was why people didn't really love Jennifer Hudson being a part of the show. Do you think Jennifer Hudson will come back and make an appearance? I don't need her to be a full-time person. But since she was a part of the movies, why not come back with her husband or something, or an episode? I wouldn't be surprised. They're bringing people back from season 2. So why not? Why not? Shay says, I mean, in a pandemic, really. Yes, Logan says, I'm ready for the real estate agent. Look, I know this is, everyone's going to say this, and I'm going to say this now. Her at the end going back to her old single lady's apartment, that was so predictable. That was so predictable, but also understandable. If you've lost your husband and he died in the home that you shared, that's going to be hard to live in. And she never let go of her single apartment. If you've been watching the series and the movies, she held on to that because she didn't want to lose a part of herself. I mean, also if you own it, that's good money. Rent that sucker out, but you don't rent it out. Look, you don't rent something like that out because she has all of her friends. She has all of her friends using it. Girl, you better rent that sucker out or Airbnb it. I hear it is an Airbnb now in real life. All right. All right. Let me just backtrack just a little bit. Carrie is going through big things. And I don't know if anyone has lost a mate before and you've gone through some of what you've gone through. If so, I want you guys to call in and share your experience if you would like to. And I can't even imagine what that would feel like. I remember having a friend lost a partner after being with them for a very long time. And I was just like, that is like the worst, right? To be, especially when you're in a good place and you lose it. I mean, even if you were in a good place, if you lost someone that you love, it's going to hurt. But her going through his things, finding a picture of a dog. She's like, I didn't know he had a dog. I didn't know he had a dog. And she asked her friends, did you know Big had a dog? No. Candace says, I love that she kept the apartment. I mean, it makes good business sense to keep the apartment, but rent out the apartment. She kept the apartment I mean, she really didn't have to. Big probably was paying for this other apartment. I know it's not real, y'all. We're trying to make sense of this, though, especially in New York City. Miss Curry says, I can't even imagine. My heart broke. Eve says, my Big dying was so sad. Shantae says, I have classmates that have passed away or lost a spouse. Ugh. I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine what she was feeling like, but I understood why she might have issues sleeping in that apartment because he literally died there. So that makes sense in the story. But at the end where she says, and just like that, I walked myself home to her other apartment. So the next episode, we're going to meet a new character, and that character is going to be the real estate agent selling this apartment. Oh gosh, Candace says, when is Aiden coming back? I hope if Aiden comes back, it makes sense. I don't want it to be a love affair. I think her love affair is going to be with the podcast producer, though, because we don't get a lot from him. This episode, we got words from him. So I just feel like that's going to be some sort of love affair. And I'm here for it because he's cute. Aiden, him and that. And I'm not, being prejudiced towards anyone with a belly. I just never loved Aiden. I never loved Aiden. Who loved Aiden? I never loved Big either, though. Who did I love for Carrie? Not Burger. Oh my God. You remember when Burger was a mess. I think a lot of us have dated a Burger before. That was just a mess. Jazzy says, never. Aiden never should come back. He should stay passively aggressively alone. Jazzy. Elaine says, he is hot. Yes, the broadcast producer. And he says, I love Aiden. I know a lot of people do. That's why they keep bringing him back. Would y'all stop? Oh my God. Oh my, Burger was the worst. He was. But her reaction when he left the Post-it note, that is some legendary Sex in the City. Legendary. KU says, I hated Burger and his Post-it. But we got that big moment, no pun intended, big moment from Carrie where she's like, when she goes off on his friend. And to me, there are so many quotable real life moments from Sex and the City. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, Sex and the City, blah blah." No, there's some really amazing quotes from Carrie from this series that you can associate with your life. And she talked about you end our relationship on a post-it. You end something that was supposed to be so beautiful in such a whimsical way. Really? JDW says Berger needed therapy. Post note breakup. Has anyone ever broke up with you through a post-it? I had someone break up with me through. It wasn't a text message. What was it? Was it a MySpace message? No, I don't remember. But it wasn't through the phone. It wasn't in person. Oh Lord. Boxy says Burger Road. I can't. Okay. Legendary. But we're digressing. So the will, she finds out in the will that Big has left $1 million to Natasha. Now she's obsessed. You know how Carrie gets obsessed with something. She's been okay this entire time since Big died, but now she's just like, who was this man? She's looking through all of his things. And now she's reaching out. She sends an email to Natasha. Natasha doesn't respond because if you remember the years of Natasha, she was married to, first of all, Carrie was with him first. But then, Big being Big, moved on and married Natasha. Then they had the season where they were having the affair, Big and Carrie. And then she caught Carrie in their apartment. So much so she was running after Carrie. She fell and busted her tooth. Remember that? I have to say the actress that played Natasha, she aged beautifully. Didn't she? She aged beautifully. Danielle says, I loved Burger. You would. I got a Dear John at basic training. What do you mean? What? Candace is not MySpace. I don't remember if it was MySpace or not, but I remember it was just like, really? That's how you're going to break up with someone? After all, I almost had a Carrie moment. I'm sure at that point, yes, there definitely was. That episode had already aired when that happened. Happy Sanford says, yeah, he's nice looking producer. Nah, Aiden was so odd, quirky, just like Steve. Guess that's why they were friends. Aiden definitely gives me Brooklyn vibes. And if you're from the area, you understand what I mean. Not typical Brooklyn, but the hipster people in Brooklyn. There we go. Yes, Eve says Natasha was a lot younger than Big and Carrie. Eve says, I wouldn't fool with Carrie or Big after what they did. We can move on, but we'll never be cool. And don't stalk me through the city, please. And that's exactly what Carrie does. Carrie always makes everything about her. And I know this is part of the reason why people do not enjoy the character Carrie, because now you're hunting this woman down after all the drama you put her through. She's moved on. She has kids. But you wonder why. Why is he leaving you $1 million? Did you guys have an affair? Because as we all say, how you get him is how you lose him. Did Big have an affair? A lot of you speculated that. We find out later, no, he didn't. She had no idea. She had not been in communication with him. But Carrie becomes obsessed. She becomes obsessed. She's hunting this woman down. She emails her. Sidebar, she found the phone number in his pocket and she calls it. It's their home number. Have you guys done that? Who still has a landline? If you have a landline in the chat, drop a phone in the chat. If you still have a landline. Style of trend in my style to trend in my TikTok says Natasha got burned by both. I feel like she deserves that $1 million. I mean, she definitely deserved the $1 million, but of course she's not going to take it. She's not going to take it. Yeah. Damn. You still have wow. All right. A few people have landlines and all right. I haven't had a landline in years. There's a little, okay. I don't want to ask everyone's age, but Elaine says, okay, I have a phone for my fax. Okay. But you have a fax machine? Oh my gosh. Kristen says Big was in his 60s. Carrie is in her 50s. Having landlines is normal for that demographic. I I mean, I get it. It actually makes a lot of sense, especially when we had that big blackout here in New York. I still had a landline at that point. I don't remember how long ago that was. I still had a landline. And thankfully that I did, because if you had a landline, that was the only thing working. Just saying. Okay, Shantae says, I'm 44, 45 in 2 weeks. Happy early birthday. It's for emergencies. How do you even get a landline now? Who do you call? Janae said, don't be ageist. I'm not being ageist. I'm just saying, even if you were 20, I'd be like, you have a landline? I'm being a landline-ish. Just saying. We have a landline and a rotary for natural disaster emergencies. And that was part of the reason why I kept it for a while after the big blackout. But then at some point, I was just like, no, just didn't make any more sense. I'll call the phone company. Which one? What's their name again? Bell Atlantic? Is that still in the area? Who knows? Who knows? Guys, we have almost 300 people in the chat. We are talking about the Sex and the City reboot and Just Like That, episode 3. Guys, if you had to rate episode 3 in comparison to episode 1 and 2, from 1 to 10, how would you rate it? And if you're watching the replay of this, I want to know how you would rate it and what you thought of this episode and what stood out to you the most. As I said to you before, there were a lot of predictable moments. There seems to be a drinking situation going on with Miranda, but not just that. There's also seemed to be a marriage situation going on with Miranda. We find out that she and Steve haven't had sex in years. And this only comes up because Charlotte starts asking questions after going through Miranda's bag and finding little, what do you call those things? Alcohol in her bag. No, I'm not aging you guys. All right, this make 6, 7, 6, 8. Okay, 5, 5, 7, 8, 8. All right. Memes 8, Carrie and Miranda Spire. Honestly, I'm going to be real with you guys. I'm not going to give it an 8, but I'm definitely going to give it a 7.5. I feel like it was a great episode. I feel like they're transitioning us. I never really liked the episodes or seasons with Natasha. No offense to the actress. I just never really loved that. But I still got a lot of really funny moments from this episode. I think they're doing a great job with this reboot. I'm looking forward to what else they're going to give us for the season. And I'm giving this, look, if I was HBO Max, this would be renewed already. This would be renewed, and we're not going to do flashbacks with Chris Noth. We're not. Thank you so much, Daniel, for the super chat. You just showed your age with Bell Atlantic. It's been Verizon for years. I don't know about that. How's that showing my age? I'm still younger than you. Just saying. Just saying. Tammy says, I'm ready to talk about Harlem. We will be doing that tomorrow, this time tomorrow. Just give me, I want to rewatch episodes 5, 6, 7, and 8 before I get into recapping it again. If you missed our recap of episodes 1 through 4, be sure to check that out on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel as well. So stay tuned, Tammy. Lala says 7, but Carrie annoyed me. Carrie always annoys people because she is annoying. She's hunting this woman all over town. She sent her an email. She tries to follow her on Instagram. Natasha blocks her on Instagram. She's walking all around New York City. And I have to say, this is part of the reason why I love Sex and the City and now and Just Like That, is because we get to see the biggest character in the series, New York. Her walking around New York, being some of the most beautiful places in New York. And then she just randomly finds Natasha at this coffee shop on the Upper West Side. And they do have a conversation. They do have a conversation about Big. And she just confirms to Carrie, no, I haven't seen Big in years. I've already told him I don't want the $1 million. But it closes a chapter. Because remember, this chapter was never really closed with Natasha. At least it closes the chapter for Carrie. It closes the chapter for Carrie. Erica says the whole move back to her old apartment was a bit weird to me, going back in time too much. Yeah, I'm not too sure how I felt about that. I hope that she goes back there temporarily so she can get some sleep. But I hope that she's like, you know what? Even though she upgraded the apartment, remember, she renovated the apartment. I want to see her move into something else. But they're not going to rush the story. This is why I said they need at least 2 or 3 seasons. Can we all agree about that? Can we? I think they do need a couple of seasons in order to really tell the story in a great way. I'm loving it though. Can we all agree that I'm loving the end just like that reboot? I think it's great. HBO Max needs to renew it right now. And I think they do well because the ratings, the way that people have been talking about it, the recap that we did, I think is it like 13,000? I know maybe it's like 6. Hold on, I need to know. Let me see. Hold on, y'all. I need to see where we are because our recap of it. Let's go here. Let's go here. Oop, hold on, y'all. Let me go back. I need because our recap alone is just an indication of how much you guys love Sex in the City. But I already know that, so it's almost at 20,000. The recap that we did last Friday, almost at 20,000. So many of you are invested in this reboot. 5 is good enough. Okay, are you giving it 5 seasons? Is that what you mean, Janae? Yes, Jen agrees with me. At least 3 seasons. And if they're good on the 3rd season, let's renew for a 4th. Kimmy says, yes, 3 seasons, and I'm loving it too. All right. Oh, look, I never know how you guys are going to feel, but I think they're doing a good job. I think they're doing a really good job. It's not perfect. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. We're always going to find a flaw in how they're doing this. Shay, I know some of you did not like the Shay character. I'm liking Shay because we're getting a lot of funny. We're getting a Hispanic person in the New York City. Okay. I hope we dive into Shay's life as a little bit more too. And I already knew that Shay and Miranda were going to have something, especially after the funeral. I already knew, and I could relate to Miranda when she was like, I decided, you know what? I'm so used to my routine and going right home after certain things. And I just said, you know what? I'm going to, go to this after party. And she goes to the after party. I didn't know what a shotgun is. Am I showing my age now? Am I showing my age now? What the hell? I never heard of a shotgun. What? Look, Natasha, thank you so much for the super chat. Do a favorite outfit of the episode. The podcast fit was fire. Oh yeah. But you know what I also love about this show is it, of course, the fashion is legendary on this show, but we're getting throwbacks from the movie. That belt that she was wearing when she was running around town, when she went to Natasha's office. Would you guys go to Natasha's office to confront her? I feel like that's a little bit much, Carrie. But then Natasha lying and saying that she's in Rome. And then when they were walking out and they're looking up, I've always had the like I was shocked with them. I was like, oh my God, run. Exactly. Logan said, I know shotgun for drinks. Oh, okay. Yeah, like a shotgun or shotgunning a beer. I never saw that with that. We're learning something new. I'm already picturing the love affair that's going to happen between Shay and Miranda. Miranda already we know is having drinking issues. We already know that she is not happy in her marriage, at least not sexually. They haven't had sex in years, which is not uncommon. I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh my God, you haven't had sex. There are relationships like that where people, I don't know how. God, that sounds like hell. Eve says, shotgun's been out, Kempire, before you were probably born. I'm older than you and knew about shotgun. All right, why y'all attacking me today? It's Friday. I also remember I don't drink and I don't do, any of that stuff. Just saying. D says, talk about a stalker. Yeah, it was a bit much. But at least they had the conversation. I give this episode a 7.5, because I never really loved Natasha. I never really loved the storyline of Natasha. So even us talking about it, I was like, all right. We're going to talk about it, but we're talking about a variety of issues going on here. And I think they're doing a great job with taking on these issues in such a different way. And again, we've called them out for being a little too woke this season. I love the addition of Anthony not being woke, especially being the gay character. I love the fact that he is not the woke one in that particular instance. And that would not be true to his character for him to be so woke. So I thought that was really, really good on how they handle that. It will be interesting to see how this will all play out. I'm hooked. I'm hooked. But y'all know what time it is, right? If you know what that sound means, drop what you need to drop in the live chat. It's about that time, guys, here on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. Guys, it's 12 days of giveaways, 12 days of Christmas here on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. We've given out so many amazing gifts so far. Yesterday, we gave out a coldest water bottle. Oh, no, that was earlier in the week. We gave out 2 coldest water bottles. Yesterday, shout out to Dr. Obi for giving us a Samsung tablet. Yes. We were able to give out a Samsung tablet yesterday. And we've been celebrating Black-owned businesses. We've been giving out all kinds of really cool stuff. We even gave out a hand mixer from KitchenAid. Look, I love it. I love it. So what are we giving away today? Let me, look, I'm producing the show by myself, y'all. Let me pull my stuff up. What are we giving away today? Oh, spices. All right. So, we already know that we have so many amazing people that follow and subscribe to our channel. And y'all know I love to eat. That if you know nothing about me, you know I love to eat. Okay. So AC Art of Food LLC is a culinary health lifestyle resource dedicated to helping individuals eat better. The company was initially founded in 2003 by owner and culinary creator Adrian A.C. Price. Initially a private caterer turned personal chef, AC started her cooking journey when she was knee-high to her matriarchs, watching them pour love and joy into the pots and pans they mastered in creating delicious bowls and platefuls of comfort. Look, my mouth is salivating, y'all. Today, AC has refocused her company as a culinary health resource, offering delicious lower sodium seasoning blends, abstract spice, and educating clients through mindful custom meal planning, healthy eating courses, and cooking class experiences, cookbooks, and an overall healthier lifestyle of eating. Okay, so what we are giving away to you guys today, the AC Art of Food Gold Top Taste Bundle is the offering and is a $45 value. Okay, so 2 ounces of each of our abstract spice seasoning blends, 6 in all, with recipe cards, original, lower sodium, spicy, lemon, salt and pepper, lemon low salt and salt and pepper, and rose sea salt. Okay. Let me take myself out of here. Hold on, y'all. I have way too many screens open.
Great Eats and Healthy Living. I'm AC Price, certified culinary health consultant and owner of AC Art of Food. We're a culinary health resource dedicated to life-changing results and helping you eat healthier. We have our amazing abstract spice, lower sodium seasoning blends, our mindful custom meal plans for not only weight loss, but healthy weight management. We also offer our healthy eating courses, interactive blood type sessions, cooking class experiences, and so much more. Check us out at acartoffood.com and follow us on all things social media, AC Art of Food.
First of all, thank you to them. Because as I said to you before, I love all the businesses that have reached out or that we've reached out to and have decided to partner with us for our Kempire's 12 Days of Christmas here on the channel. Excited to celebrate these businesses, Black-owned businesses that are doing big things. And y'all, as I said before, I love to eat. All right, so let's see. Oh, let's see. And yes, Mama B5, we are going to be posting all of AC's information in the description of this video. And matter of fact, I'm going to post the link that I'll post the link in a second, y'all. Let me just, because there's way too many windows open. But again, oh, no matter if I can add the video's right here. Hold on, let me just post it here so you can see it. Because I want you guys, and then I'll pin it so that you guys can do support. And then we're going to choose our winner. And again, you know, I don't choose this myself. We do this all through Nightbot. Okay, let me just make sure this is correct before I post it. There we go. All right, let me just pin that. Let me pin it. I love seeing all the Christmas gifts and all the trees that you guys post when we start doing 12 Days of Christmas here on the channel. Let me just pin this. Yeah, there we go. Oh, Danielle did it. I'll just post that. There we go. Let's choose who's going to win. Who is going to win this amazing package from AC? Let's go. Let's see. Let's see. And roll it. Delsenia! Shout out to Delsenia. Delsenia is our winner. Delsenia, congratulations. Delsenia Dames Taka has won the giveaway. Delsenia is not just a subscriber, she's also our moderator and a member of the channel. So thank you to Delsenia. And congratulations, Delsenia. Please email us all of your information at giveawayswithan@thekempire.com. Again, giveawayswithan@thekempire.com. Congratulations to Delsenia. Delsenia is always here working hard. I can't tell you who would deserve it more. Okay, so congratulations to Delsenia for winning that gift. And again, thank you to everyone. Thank you, AC, for donating this amazing gift of good health. Now, y'all know I like to eat, but we need to eat better. We need to eat better. So thank you to her and congratulations. Congratulations to everyone that has won a gift here during our 12 days of giveaways. And you never know where I might pop up and give something away. The other day, we popped up on TikTok and gave something away there. So be sure to follow me on all of my social media. I'm going to drop the call-in link. I do want to hear what you guys have to say. Where are we with the likes? Where are we? Let's get to 150 likes. Let's get to 150 likes, and I will drop the call-in link. Here's the thing. Okay, y'all already know I don't know what a shotgun is. I don't know what a shotgun is. However, I'm interested in seeing what they're going to do with the relationship between Shay and Miranda. I think Shay's going to turn Miranda out. She hasn't had sex in years. How do you live like that? I guess it happens, right? Apparently. Apparently. I don't know. Look, I don't know. Oh, let me put that up there. There we go. Guys, if you would like to support this business, please head on over to ACAR acartoffood.com, acartoffood.com. It will be posted in the description of this video, along with more information in the description. All right. Shantae says, I do not like Brady's little girlfriend. I don't like how they're handling that whole situation. I know a lot of people are like, oh, would you have your child having sex in your own home? I don't even care about that conversation. I don't like how they're handling that storyline. They could do a better job with that. They could definitely do a better job with that. Okay. Oh, Janaea says, Kempire, Steve has early dementia. You think? They're giving us sprinklings of things that I'm like, but I wonder. Oh, Janae, the fact that you say that, I think Miranda will stay with Steve. She might do like a Bronwyn, where she's in a relationship with Shay, but stay with Steve. Can you see it? Anyways, look, I can see it. I can see it. Let me drop the call-in link. I want to hear what you guys have to say. There we go. Sorry, I'll just making sure I covered everything that I wanted to talk about here. All right. Yeah, Sunshine says an open marriage. Yeah, that was the first thing that came to mind, was that they would probably end. I just don't see Miranda leaving Steve, especially if they're not having sex. And they've been in this sort of relationship this way for how many years? I just don't see her leaving him. And I don't want her to leave him, to be honest with you. All right. We already have quite a few people backstage. We're going to bring people up. And guys, if you have your favorite shoes with you, feel free to share them. This is the Sex and the City reboot conversation. And just like that, if you're watching the replay of this, I want to know your thoughts on everything that we've speculated about. Does Steve have early onset dementia? Do you see, of course, look, if you don't see the fact that Miranda and Shay are going to have some sort of love affair, then you're blind. Just saying. And is Carrie just being annoying this episode? Yeah. All right, I'm going to bring up, Danielle's already back. Danielle has that trigger finger. I don't know, Danielle, as I said to you before, people think I bring you up, oh, you're a favorite. No, she literally is always the first to call in.
So, first of all, you are not that much younger than me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I bet you don't. So let's not get it twisted. Second of all, obviously I'm still in the bed because I'm working remotely. But here are my favorite pump. Another pair of my favorite pump. Oh, shit, where's the camera?
Yeah, show us the side. I want to see the heel.
So they're just cute little kitten pumps. These are Kate Spade's.
Are those kitten heels? That's not a kitten heel.
This is a kitten heel.
That looks very big for a kitten heel.
Oh my gosh. And just think, I'm 6 feet tall. So no, this is a kitten heel.
For you?
For anyone. This is,
but yeah, I don't think that's a kitten heel. Ladies in the chat, is that a kitten heel? That looks.
Yes, these are definitely kitten heels. I'm telling you.
Those are. I mean, first of all, I'm being critical. We're like brother and sister right now. No, bring it back up. I want to see it again. I think they're beautiful though. And are they like a name brand? Like what? Who? Oh, Kate Spade. Okay, yeah. All right. See, everyone's saying no. It's not a kitten heel.
No. I think so. I think they're a cute little kitten heel.
And mind you, I don't wear heels. And I said, no, that seems, I mean, they're beautiful though.
I don't wear heels a lot either, but in comparison to my other shoes, and I have another pair I'm setting aside for next week to show off.
Wait. Janae said that's a grown cat.
Okay, well, let's go with that. They're grown cats. I'll take that.
Yeah. All right.
So yeah, these are my Kate Spades. I've had them for years, and I love them.
Thoughts on this episode 3, because I know you've rewatched episode 1 and 2 as like I have.
So I watched episode 1 and 2 3 times. I watched episode 2 yesterday twice, and I made Big Daddy start season 1 with me yesterday as well. So now he's like all in. He was like, I don't want to see this. And as soon as I walked away, he was like into season 1. So we're actually starting over from the beginning.
I love the fact that he's watching though.
Well, he's already.
I just want to say a cart of food is in my TikTok chat. Thank you so much for being a part and supporting the channel with your gift of, look, food. Sorry.
Oh yeah, he was already watching this and I didn't know. And he made some he quoted some of the lines. I was like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? He was like, and just like that. I said, just like that, what? He was like, the show. I was like, you're watching? He was like, yeah. So he was already watching before I even told him to watch.
Oh,
So that's why I'm making him start over. I love it. Okay, so I'm gonna start from where you just finished with your recap.
okay.
As far as Steve and Miranda, remember that time when Steve cheated on Miranda when they weren't having sex?
Oh, shoot. Yes. That's why I love when you guys call in because you remind me of stuff.
So I think we're kind of going to get the flip side of that with Shay.
Wow.
And as far as Brady having sex, I don't know if that's the topic because I feel like with boys, it's always that what is it called? Because girls wouldn't be able to do that in their parents' house. What is it called?
The double standard?
Double standard, yes. Now, what was odd to me is that on last week's episode, they showed it as if Brady's room was right next to his parents' room.
Yeah.
So we thought that they were in an apartment, but then yesterday's episode, we saw there's upstairs, they're in a house. So I thought that was kind of like, why would y'all put
them in Brooklyn, I'm sure.
It's probably the brownstone in Brooklyn, but even a brownstone in Brooklyn, I mean, my girlfriend has one. Her son was on one side of the house and her room was on the other side of the house and the bathroom was in between. So I thought that was once I saw that it was actually a house, I thought that was a little odd. Mm-hmm. The scene where Carrie, Miranda, and Charlotte see Natasha in her office and they get like they're 16 years old, or let's not even say 12-year-old girls. Like, oh my gosh, she's not. I hated that part.
Why?
I wanted Carrie to stand up and be like, I just came to your job and you just try to say you were in wherever she Rome. I needed Carrie to stand up. Like, if you've been chasing this woman down, stalking her this much, grow a backbone. I was gonna say a pair of balls, but get a backbone and stand up and say, hey, the fact that she tried to cover her face, like she's in a whole window, a floor-to-ceiling window, and you think she doesn't see you? I thought the scene was hilarious. I was kind of laughing like Miranda was. Mm-hmm. It was actually funny, but I was so upset that Carrie ran away. Mm-hmm. I could see Charlotte getting all frantic and running away.
Isn't that really true to Carrie form, though?
Yeah,
she's not one that's going to confront.
What? So you can. So if you're not going to be the one to confront, don't show up in my job.
Oh, I mean, yes, you're right.
Because what would she have done if Natasha really came out in that lobby?
I don't know. Stammered.
Why didn't Natasha lock the bathroom door in a public place?
That has happened. Look, and we're in the real world. That has definitely happened to people where I've walked in and I'm like, wait, why didn't you lock the door? I think people don't think. I don't know.
Maybe she didn't go that bad and she thought she locked it. Who knows? But I thought that scene was hilarious. I was not expecting that part.
I don't think any of us were expecting that.
And as far as Charlotte's daughter, did she ever say how she identifies? Are we
not yet?
Okay.
She's saying now, you know, we're easing into it. That's why I've been kind of going saying daughter, son, just because she hasn't officially said these are my pronouns, but she's saying that she does not feel like a girl.
Right. So, and this is an educational moment for me because I don't know. So if she doesn't feel like a girl, is that safe to assume she feels like a boy, or is it that in between where she doesn't want to be identified as anything?
Because she hasn't said what she would like to be identified as I'm not going to say boy either, because she might say, you know, I'm non-binary. So
okay.
So
Shay's cute. I'm not gay, but Shay is cute. I love her pretty teeth. I know Shay is cute. Shay is cute. When it's her teeth, and I know a lot of people know her from off of Grey's Anatomy. I never saw that, but I think Shay is adorable, and I'm here for her and Miranda's soon to come love affair. I'm here for the shotgun. I learned about shotgun in college. It didn't work for me, but I learned about it in college. Yeah. So I give last night's episode. I liked it. I'm about to watch it again. Now you're gonna have me watching all 3 episodes together. Good. And back to Nicole Ari. Yeah, I wish she could have spoken up at the table reading and said, yeah, Black people don't really dig into people's fries that we don't know. I wish she would have threw that in there because that was just gross.
Yeah, it was rewatching it. She didn't have a major role these first couple of episodes, but rewatching, I was like, this feels a little forced.
Yeah, I don't like it, but I am trying to compare because it's with the comparisons of the old seasons to the new seasons and looking at how big. Because I totally forgot how big and Carrie started. I didn't even remember that Big was there since season 1. I remember Skipper and all that. I remember everyone else she's been through. But I don't know why I thought Big came around season 3 or something. So I'm
He's
glad
gonna
I'm
probably get this
restarting and
season.
actually watching the love affair all over, and then falling on the floor, her wearing the skimpy dress with the fur coat on. It's so much. I'm here for it. Okay, that's it. Bye. I gotta take this sweatshirt or go back to bed.
All right, bye. Okay. I agree, Mo. Shay's stand-up in this gave me the chill. It was good. Is Shay, I can't remember the actor's real name, but are they really a comedian in real life? If not, maybe they should be. I was really entertained. All right, Kristen's backstage and Kristen's on camera. Hey, Kristen.
Hi.
Happy holidays. What's going on?
Well, I turned my camera on so I could show my shoes.
Yes.
So these are, I'm not going to tell you how long I've had them, but I'm an old lady. So just take it that I've had them for many, many, many years. They're these Vivienne Westwoods. They're purple and sparkly, and they're jellies.
They're jellies?
They're jellies. So that should tell you how old they are, because Vivienne Westwood hasn't done anything like this in so many years. Hold on, I'm trying to like show my camera. There you go. So they're like little, they have like 3 straps at an ankle, and they're like a little heel. Yeah,
there we go.
You see it? No, yes. So those are mine.
Wow. Okay. All right.
So those are my shoes. I have tons of shoes though, because I'm a small woman. So even though I like to wear high heels, which is funny because my husband and I are the same height. So when I wear them, like I'm 5 inches taller and he doesn't even care. He's like, whatever, your ass looks good and you're coming home to me. So, but it's, anyway.
I love it. I love it. Thoughts on this episode?
I am bored with the main characters. I actually am more interested in all the ancillary people around them. I think they're more interesting. They're more dynamic. You know, when I was watching like Carrie haunt, Natasha, I was just like, yeah, that's why I pulled out my Vivienne Westwoods, because of the dress. But when I was watching, I was like, she did this before, and it like, has she had no growth as a person in the last 20 years? And I didn't understand, like, okay, so she kept her apartment, but she has been living this like multi-millionaire lifestyle with Big for 15 years now? And yet we're all supposed to believe that she kept this teeny tiny little apartment, because it's a studio apartment. I mean, it's basically a studio apartment. So she kept that all these years, and she's going to downsize from having a penthouse, you know?
That closet.
Yeah, exactly. That closet is the size of her other apartment. Like, she couldn't, no, there's no way. And so, I mean, I understand like maybe not wanting to be where Big died, but at the same time, it's just like, come on. Like, nobody's going to have held on to that all this time, and they're certainly not going to go back like that,
And I hope, and hopefully the producers and writers are listening to us. I hope this is just sort of her transition apartment to her big girl apartment.
I would hope. And it was funny because when I was watching, I just kept being like, I don't even want to know what's going on with Carrie. I don't care. I want to see what she's wearing. But I don't really care about this, because it's just not like, it doesn't come across as very authentic. She doesn't really seem like she's truly grieving, and I mean, I've never lost a spouse. I mean, I've lost one through divorce, but I've never lost a spouse. I mean, I've lost a child, and I know how you experience grief that way. And so I know for myself, I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything. I was in bed and just catatonic almost. I had to go to a dear friend and family member's funeral earlier in the year, and being around the spouse, she was, up and talking to people, but same thing. It was just that kind of dead stare. So the fact that the show is like acting like Carrie just kind of carries on. Like, that's not, you don't have so much of your life revolve around one person, because they don't have kids. They don't, Big is her whole world. So that just, to me, it just seemed really inauthentic to how he would experience grief and how you would actually mourn.
Can I throw something in there? First of all, it is important to just remind people everyone mourns very differently, and although they
it's very different.
Maybe looking, great on the outside to us, maybe something else is going on, and don't be surprised if later she all of a sudden it hits her. Like right now, she could be in one phase of grief, and then next episode or next season, it really hits her.
But the thing is we saw how she reacted to getting ghosted at her wedding. So how is it that was an extreme emotional reaction where she didn't put on makeup, she wasn't taking care of herself, she wasn't doing any of those things, but now Big has died, and yet she's looking fabulous and out with her friends to stalk his ex-wife from 20 years ago? Like, come on.
Again, though, when you're in such a state of shock, that could be for who knows how long. Look, I'm arguing like this is real, but
yeah, no, true. But, and then the only thing I really started to understand, I felt what you said about Stanford after last week. And I really, like, when I watched it this week, I was like, yeah, he really is like the token gay man, which then made me look at the other characters that they're introducing as tokens as well. Like, okay, now we have like, I'm like, okay, so you have like your token lesbian friend now. And it's just, it's just like these women have kind of closed ranks and they're not letting anyone in. Stanford was Carrie's friend, has always been Carrie's friend. And after all these decades, she still hasn't let him in. And I just realized that the biggest reason that the show for me, yes, it's a love letter to the fans, but I don't think that it's as authentic as what the real world would necessarily be, is that it feels like she has segregated her life into, I have these, my white friends who are my close friends, and then these are everyone else, and we're going to be woke now. It's like, you can't, it's almost like they're trying to portray two different shows in the same show. And that's why it just doesn't flow very well to me. And I don't care about the main characters that much because they're just not that interesting. Their lives aren't that interesting. And it's like, I want to hear about all of these other people. I want to see all of these other people. I'm like, if we got away from the main three, I would be okay with that. Like, I want to see what they're wearing. I want to look at their shoes. I want to, I want to know about the fashion, but really and truly outside of the fashion, they're not interesting.
Damn.
Not anymore.
Kristen, always coming with the sledgehammer. All right. I want to get to some other callers and so we can wrap this up. But Kristen, thank you so much for calling and sharing your story and sharing your shoes.
And my coldest water bottle.
And your coldest water bottle. Thank you for the reminder. I got to do that ad now.
All right. Bye.
All right, guys. It's the holidays, guys. You still have time to get your coldest water bottle for yourself, for your family and friends. Keeps your water cold for 36 plus hours. Hydration is so important in your life. Make sure you're drinking enough water. And this is one of the ways I remind myself to keep drinking water. Sidebar. Get your coldest water bottle for 10% off when you use the discount code KEMP10 for 10% off. Get your coldest water bottle today. They don't just have water bottles on their website. Check out more stuff there available right now. More information is available in the description of this video. And back to this. Oh, right. Okay, hydrate. All right, Mama B5, I'm going to bring you up. Hold on, let me move my thing. Hey, Mama B5.
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
I'm well, how are you?
I'm good. So I don't know if you caught my message in the chat. The dog was mentioned in, I believe, season 3 with Aiden, between Big and Aiden. There was a dog conversation. I don't remember his name. It was something odd.
See, this is why you have to pay attention and why you have to rewatch stuff.
Yeah, thank God for COVID, right? We've just right. Now the thing with Charlotte, I think she's gonna dance with it for a minute, but it's gonna be Harry that will ultimately have the issue because of his religion.
Oh.
You got to remember he was a strong Jew.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think he's going to be the one that truly has the problem. It won't be her because she'll come around. I think the reason they did this with Miranda is we don't have Samantha. So they had to make somebody sexual. You got the grieving widow, we wouldn't accept. You have Charlotte, the devoted wife, obviously. So who was left?
Mm.
I think she's awkward, which makes me weird because she's gay in real life, but she's awkward. So I don't understand that part. I do think they're doing the dementia with his mom, as with him, and that she will eventually not divorce him, but put him in a home.
Or be the home that he needs.
Yeah, because she won't be able to maintain him. The kid's too old. He's going to be out of control, and she won't divorce him, but she'll have him committed to where he'll be safe. Yep.
All right.
That's what I think. You can drop me now. That's my opinion. You have a happy day, dear.
Thank you for calling in.
Of course. Bye, babe.
Bye. All right. Okay. All right, guys, if you're just joining us, we're talking about, of course, the Sex and the City reboot and Just Like That. If you're watching the replay, I want to know your thoughts, how you would rate this episode, your favorite part from the episode, what you expect for future episodes, what you don't agree with. All right. Shantae's backstage. I'm going to bring Shantae up. What's going on, Shantae? Shantae, you're muted. Shantae, I can't hear you.
My bad. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Hello, happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you too. Thoughts on this episode?
Okay, so a couple of people were like, why would Carrie have kept her apartment, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you know what? New York real estate, that's very realistic to keep that extra apartment, especially in her position where it's very likely by now that apartment has been paid off. Because remember, that apartment did it go co-op or condo? Because she was renting when we first came, and eventually it did, because remember, she was like, well, I should buy my apartment. So it's pretty realistic to think that by now that apartment would be paid off and she owns it free and clear. So it would make sense to still own it. Yeah. Because like I said, people, it's just, when you're in New York, condos and co-ops are different. People are clamoring to get into a specific building or on a certain block within a neighborhood in a borough. So that was kind of realistic in that sense when you're talking about in terms of New York and real estate. I'm wondering, so getting back to what I was saying about not liking Brady's little girlfriend, I think because she's a young adult, but she's not an adult. And she came off acting a little bit too familiar towards Brady's parents with that little comment. I was like, I would have looked at her kind of funny.
But remember, that makes sense because she's having sex in their house.
That too. And that's exactly. They have made her comfortable along with making Brady comfortable. So she's gotten comfortable with her little loose mouth. So.
I love how you guys pick and choose. And this is why I love having the conversation. And for those that are watching the replay, what moment stood out to you? Because I didn't think people would talk about this particular moment the way that you're talking about. But you were obviously triggered.
A little bit. Little bit, and I'm not even a mom, but still, I can have an opinion.
What Fem Taro said.
Say what?
I remember what Fem Taro said.
Which, is kind of bringing me around. So, Carrie, I don't want to see Aiden come back in the mix. Not dating her, you know, and I don't really want to see Carrie to start dating again right now. They can at least wait until if it gets another season. Wait until next season. Like, let her go through this season, you know, like you were saying, because she's definitely probably in shock. Like, it hasn't really hit her. Because we know, Carrie, like, remember when...
I think there's a lot of people that, you know, when you've lost someone, even though you know you've lost that person, you're still expecting a phone call.
Exactly.
It's sort of like it's not real to you yet.
Exactly. Like I said, because a lot of the things, like, remember, she was going around the apartment looking through the pockets in his pants and stuff, going through his phone, and I would have been trying to go to that computer too, personally. That's just me. But, you know, like I said, she hasn't gone through a lot of those other things, and everybody may not go through the stages of grief the exact same way.
Yeah.
So, you know, with us saying, oh my God, and then we were like, oh my God, they were only married 10 years. She went through all this to get him, and now okay, such is life. But I don't want to see her dating now. I would rather see her get a matchmaker. I could relate to that because I have a matchmaker. So I could relate to that.
You got a matchmaker?
I
Is it
have a matchmaker.
is it
Yeah.
$1 million matchmaker?
Hey, I'm not going to tell too much, but so yeah, I could sort
You
of
want to see
relate to
her get a
that.
matchmaker.
Yeah, she could get a matchmaker. I could see her doing that.
Why a matchmaker though?
I could see Carrie doing that. Maybe not, even though it seems like she might be trying to be matchmaker to her fabulous realtor that we see coming up. But yeah, like someone said, Aiden's coming back in some fashion, and it's like, they've already revisited that in one of the movies, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems like it's going to be pushing everything. Like they seem to be pushing a lot of things. Charlotte and her daughter, I think a lot of that is going to be. I think her daughter is very well aware of what she feels, how she feels, who she is, but she doesn't know how to tell her mother. And I think Harry already knows because Harry seems to be the more, I don't want to say real. Well, he seems to be the more realistic, but he seems to be the more easygoing of the two. Remember, Charlotte is always about things in their pretty little package. Presentation is everything with Charlotte, especially the house situations that she's in.
Yeah.
Presentation is everything. And the fact that that's the daughter she birthed, it's not kind of unrealistic to expect Charlotte to think that that would be her mini me. And I think her daughter knows that. It's going to be something about, well, I'm not living up to my mom's expectations.
Yeah.
And then the whole thing about her getting her way about the dress, that was like a struggle. Fighting with her mom to say, Mom, I don't want to wear that dress. I don't want to wear pastels. I don't want to wear florals.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be a bit of a struggle with that. And they don't seem to be giving Charlotte too much time either. So maybe they'll come back and do that. Miranda and Steve, it just seemed weird for a second when she says, oh, we haven't had sex in years. And I'm like, so you go from having your husband cheat on you for lack of sex to not having sex in years. So then I'm thinking, okay, does he have something on the side? Because he did cheat before when there was a lack of sex. So it was just weird. But then the whole thing about him having dementia, that would make sense because his mother had it.
But
So
you have to remember too, and look, this sounds like hell to me. However, there are a lot of couples after years of being together, and as you get older, where sex is not as prevalent as it used to be. So
I could see maybe if they were like in their 80s or 90s, sure. But, they're still young. You can still get it in. You married. You're not dead.
no,
But
right?
that particular instance with Steve, I think would make more sense. I don't know if that's where they're going to really go with it. But between that and her, I think they're trying. I don't know if they're going to really make her out to be an absolute alcoholic. But I'd hate for her to have the cheating arc, the alcoholic arc, and that's probably more realistic in terms to some too. But I'm just like, okay, they're giving her a lot.
Yeah.
Between the mom that's more involved because she does seem more involved with Brady as far as Brady, stop, Brady, what are you doing, this, that, and the other. So I'm like, okay, is Brady going to be getting it in while Steve wanders off out in the streets like his mom did, and Miranda won't be anywhere to be found? Like, I just don't want to see it get that dark and dramatic, but they could go there possibly. So that's pretty much where I am. I think it's good, and I hope we get at least 2 more seasons out of it.
Okay. All right. They
need to do that for us.
She said for us.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So that's where I am. Even though I did have to walk back on my theory about Big not being faithful throughout the marriage, I did think, you know what, maybe he was unfaithful when she called him from Dubai about the kids. But I was like, okay, I'm glad to know I was wrong.
I mean, yeah, you were wrong, but you were right about the will situation. So
yes, I was.
So, Dante, thank you so much for calling in. Dante? Oh, I think she didn't hear me. All right. It's all right. Guys, first of all, thank you to everyone that called in. Thank you to, again, congratulations to Delsonia for winning one of our 12 days of giveaways. And thank you to our sponsor, AC Art of Food. Again, that is going to be linked in the description of this video. So please support our sponsors as well by buying their products. And congratulations to everyone that's won something so far. So happy that we're able to give away something during the holidays to our loyal subscribers. So we appreciate you guys. And if you're watching the replay of this, I want to know your thoughts on the latest episode of the Sex and the City spinoff. I'm going to eventually get away from saying Sex and the City and just saying, and just like that at some point, maybe season 2. Guys, if you also missed my update on in regards to the Chris Noth accusations and allegations, be sure to check out that video. I've linked that in the description of this video as well. Very, very, very shocking, but we had to talk about it. Let's get out of here. Happy holidays to you guys. Thank you so much for being here for our Sex and the City spinoff conversation. We'll be back again next week to recap episode 4. So if you enjoy conversations like this and you're not subscribed, get subscribed and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on what? Breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thank you to everyone that was in the chat. Thank you to everyone that sent in the super chat. Thank you to our Team Kempire and Royal Court members. If you'd like to become a member of the channel, head on over to teamkempire.com. And thank you to my moderators. Couldn't do this without our moderators. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Let's get out of here. Let's play some music to get out of here. It's the holidays.
321 days I've spent the better half of the year just holding space. I've got all the lights hanging up you can see from the street, but if you're not coming over you can light up my dreams. Every snowfall reminds me to call, 'cause I know if you're not here then it's not Christmas at all. This year, oh, I believe you're coming back to me. I'll be your angel when the snow's coming down. The song is singing, and you're here all around. Small piece of heaven on earth in this town. It's only Christmas if you're coming around. If you're coming around, oh, oh, if you're coming around, if you're coming around. You feel like Christmas every day of the year, but I can't feel it by myself. Only works if you're here. And a little bit of magic and a little faith can make every storm that's ever come just fade away. Now every front door reminds me of you, all decorated, anticipating good news. I've got one Christmas wish, top of my Christmas list, to be your angel when the sun's coming down. The song is singing, and you're here all around. Small piece of heaven on earth in this town. It's only Christmas if you're coming around. If you're coming around, oh, oh, if you're coming around, if you're coming around. I don't want much this time of year, no. Everyone wants to feel less alone, but just like putting on a winter coat, you could always melt away the bitter cold. I'll be your angel when the snow's coming down. The song is singing, and you're here all around. Small piece of heaven on earth in this town. It's only Christmas if you're coming around. If you're coming around, oh, you're coming around. If you're coming around, if you're coming around, it's only Christmas. I'll be your angel when the sun's coming down. Small piece of heaven on earth in this town. It's only Christmas. you're coming around.